discussing the downtown car park for another month. We have received a petition. Sandra Allen from the Takapuna Residents Association. Standing a sort of orders associated with receiving petitions, so we'll just receive the petition, please.
Mayor, you might have to speak up again, and they might not have heard.
We're welcoming Sandra to present a petition about Takapuna. We will receive the petition and probably refer it to your committee, but it's jumping ahead. Let's hear the petition.
Good morning, thank you. I defer to our chair, Stephen Salt. Chair
Good morning, tēnā koutou. I'm Stephen Salt, Chair of the Takapuna Residents Association, and I present a petition, and I'll be very quick. This is about the Takapuna to Milford Coastal Walkway, which is used by thousands of people and actively promoted as one of the walks in Auckland. It runs along the coastline over rocks, sewer lines, sand, and it runs below natural property lines. It can be a bit of a scramble, but it is well enjoyed by many, many people. At one section of that walk there is a bit of a barrier, and for decades it had a bridge across two rock outcrops. In 2011 that bridge was destroyed in a storm, and to keep the walkway open, an elderly gentleman with a property near there allowed walkers to come up off the rocks, traverse his garden and descend back down to the rocks. Council drew up plans, consulted and published a plan to upgrade and keep the walkway open. Nothing has been done. 2 years ago, and 10 years after the bridge was lost, the gentleman passed away. The estate is now looking to move on and wind up. The access that has generously been offered at no cost is likely to be lost. We have here a petition with 7,525 signatures which we've gathered in the last 2 weeks, asking the council to make their best efforts and get on with keeping the walkway open. There is overwhelming community support for this walkway, and we're looking for something to be done. Thank you.
Okay, I think there's a mover and a seconder for this from the Council of the Hills and Derby. My understanding it's quite complex and affects a lot of properties. So I think what we'll probably do, the best thing to do is to receive the petition and refer it to the Chief Executive rather than another committee, and he will work out what the best thing to do is, because it involves property planning.
Yeah, if I could comment on that. There is, I believe, something like 70 properties that they say that the titles go across the walkway. However, the natural formation of the land is that those titles are older and they go down to the high water mark, but if you go along the bottom of most of those properties, you wouldn't even realise that their titles go down. It's really this one property where you exit the walkway and go up to what appears to be a residential property.
Well, I think that's probably why we're referring it to the CEO, and he'll probably talk to the local board as well. He possibly should have used some of their money and fixed that bridge years ago, if you ask me, but they didn't do that. And I know there's issues about historic places, trust involved here. It's a bit more complex than what it sounds, but it sounds as it's certainly worthwhile considering, so I'm going to move that we do that. I've got a question from Councillor Watson.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. I mean, it's just really to confirm the fact that this walkway must be the most popular and heavily used walkway of any north of the bridge. I'd be correct in saying that?
Yes. We'd think so, yeah.
Thank you.
I have actually used it myself. You're quite right. There's a bit of work to be done. We received a petition. It's to be referred to the Chief Executive. All those in favour of that, please say aye.
Aye.
To the contrary, thank you very much for attending, and we will be thinking about this. And I
Thank you.
quite like it myself. Okay. The next item 8